Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to Smashing English. Today we are going to be talking about the modern RP accent, received pronunciation, a neutral British accent, like the accent I'm talking with right now. I teach this accent almost every day now. I'm not saying you have to speak in this accent, but if you want to, which a lot of my students do, this video is going to help you. So we're going to talk about what learners get wrong, because I hear a lot of people making mistakes, and that's fine. Mistakes are good. It's how we learn. So we're going to be looking at what learners get wrong so that hopefully you can learn from it. Hello everybody in the chat. Hello people from all over the world. Tell me where you're from in the comments. Where are you from? I love knowing where all the viewers are from. It's very exciting. And keep asking me questions and I will reply to those questions. So let's get started, shall we? Okay, stop doing this with the t sound. Okay, this is number one. This is massive. This is huge. I hear people doing this in lessons. I hear people doing this on social media. I hear accent coaches who are trying to teach this accent doing this mistake. So it's a huge, huge problem. So let's talk about it. Okay, so what is a glottal stop? This is important. So a glottal stop is a sound in the throat. So it happens when the vocal cords briefly close and we stop the air. So a good example would be something like what, instead of what. So I'm stopping the air here. What? Like that. That's a glottal stop. So it's called a glottal stop because it comes from glottis, which is the space between your vocal cords in your throat. That's why it's called that. So in some accents, the glottal stop is often used instead of a t sound. So if you listen to Adele, okay, she might say water, water, instead of water. So it's all coming from the throat. Water, better. That's how they're making the t, okay? Hello from Japan. I love Japan. Okay. For example, a bottle of water. This is the typical thing that people say when they want to sound British. Bottle of water. And that's doing the glottal stop here. Bottle of water. But. If you are trying to perfect an RP or standard English accent, you can't be using them all the time because we use them if we want to do kind of a London Cockney accent. Like, hello, I want a bottle of water. It's featured in regional accents, not modern RP or standard English, okay? So, definitely don't do this. This is what I hear all the time. Betty bought better butter. Okay, so no T's, right? But I also hear this. Betty butter bought better butter. So what people are doing is they take a word with a t sound, and it's like they do a glottal stop and a t. So they go Betty. Do you hear that? Betty. Butter. So it's kind of like we're getting both. We're getting a glottal stop and a t. This doesn't happen. We either do a glottal stop if we are doing a London accent, or we say the T. So please don't do Betty butter. What we want to hear is Betty Botter bought better butter. Just say the T. Just pronounce the T. Use your tongue and this part out here and go Betty. Betty Botter bought better butter. Okay, so just say the T sound. And definitely don't do this. I hear this a lot as well. This is really common. So what happens is there are no T's in this phrase. There's one T, okay? But people are putting glottal stops where there are no T's. So they're saying the people and babies are dedicated. Do you hear all that stopping in my throat? The people and babies are dedicated. You don't need to stop it. You don't need to do that stopping the air at all. Just push the sounds through. The people and babies are dedicated. Don't stop it in your throat. People. We don't need it. Because there aren't even any T's there. There's nothing. So if you hear me speaking like that and it sounds a bit like you, this is for you, okay? So be really careful about this. I suggest that, there are no T's here, okay? So we're not doing the glottal stop. So what should you do with T's? Just say the T sound. If you want to have this, really good modern RP accent, you don't really want to be doing any glottal stops, really. Minimal. So just say the T. Just say the sounds. Betty Botter bought better butter and liked sitting on a pretty pot. Just say the sounds. Okay, if you want to hear lots of British accents, we have a course. It's called 10 Conversations, 10 Accents, and it's really fantastic. And the link to that will be in the description. So if you want to hear lots of British accents and how people really talk, click the link in the description. Okie dokie. Next thing. This is the next problem. Stop doing this with the O sound. Okay, so this is another mistake I hear a lot. Like I say, I teach people 4 days a week, and this is something that I hear a lot. So, okay, so the O sound. So we're talking about the sound that you would hear in phone, bone, no. That's the sound we're talking about. So how is it made? So it's a diphthong. So it's made of two sounds. There are two sounds in this sound. The first sound is a schwa, okay? So the first sound is completely relaxed. So the first sound goes like this. Now do you notice my mouth isn't doing anything? Okay, that's a schwa, completely relaxed. The second sound is an ooh, like shoe or flew or do. So what we need to do is we need to slowly put them together. So we've got and notice the first part, I'm not doing anything special. I'm just going Okay, so let's practice it in some words. So we've got phone, and I want you to practice it that slowly, okay? Don't try to rush. Home, no, cone, grow, hope. Now the reason I want to talk about this sound is what a lot of people do is they say the first sound incorrectly. So they go like home, and they're starting on an air, like this, air, and it's too wide. We need that first sound to be So we don't want to say phone, we want phone. We don't want to say home, we want to say home. So just be really careful how you're starting that sound. And the best way to practice it is slow, slow, slow. So practice it nice and slowly. Treat it like two separate sounds. Oh, and that will help you build that sound. Another thing you can do if you would like to get more from this channel is you can click the join button. If you are a member, let me know, because I love our members. So our members get the videos 4 days early, they get PDFs for regular Smashing English videos, and they get 2 live streams like this a month. So every month they get 2 live streams that everybody else doesn't get. So if you would like to become a member and become my favorite person ever, click the join button. How are we all? Are we doing okay? Do you have any questions? Tell me if you have any questions. I will try to reply. Where are people from? We've got people from India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Chad. That's amazing. Where else have we got? Dominican Republic, Somalia, Iraq. Wow, very, very cool. So keep telling me where you're from and give me any questions you have. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, okay, stop doing this with the ah sound, okay? Oh, Mexico, someone from Mexico. Okay, the next problem I hear is from the ah sound. Ah, 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 ah. Okay, so let's have a look at this. So, what I'm hearing a lot with my students is these words are sounding the same. So you've got bed and bad, dad and dead. Those words are sounding the same. They're sounding very, very similar, okay? And the reason is you're not making the sounds different enough. So with bed, it's quite a wide, smiley sound. I'll just show you. Do you see how much I'm smiling? Now obviously you don't need to always smile when you do this sound, but it's a really good way just to get used to making that sound. Now look at the other word, bad. Look at my mouth now. Bad. Ah. See how big my mouth is? It's not just it's ah. It's big, big, big. I often say it's like you're biting into an apple. Ah. You know, if you're going to bite into an apple, you need a big mouth. Ah. You can't bite into an apple like this. You don't do that. You go ah. So when you've got the ah sound, make it big, okay? Hear the difference. Bed, bad. Bed, bad. Do you hear the difference? Now let's look at the next one. So the first one we've got dad. Big, big, big. Dad. Dad, big, like an apple. Then the other one, smiley, dead. Nice and wide, dead, dead. Okay, let's look at some more examples. So we've got pack, big, 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 pack, pack. And then little bird, peck, peck. Make it wider and tighter. Let me show you. So we've got pack, big, pack. And peck, peck, smiley and tight. Then we've got met, smiley and tight, met, and mat, met, mat. Don't be afraid to make your mouth nice and big when you've got an ah sound, okay? Imagine the apple, ah, imagine the apple. Okay, so those are the phonetic symbols if you use phonetics, if that makes it easier for you. So we've got bed, bad, dad, dead, pack, peck, met, mat. Okay, number 4. Now, another thing that I'm hearing that will make a big difference to your accent is long and short sounds should sound different. It's one of the things that I think takes someone from having an okay accent to having an amazing accent. So I teach people and they know all of the sounds, they've practiced a lot, but it doesn't sound quite perfect, and it's probably because of this reason. So monophthongs, sounds that have one sound, they can be short and long. So have a look at these. So the monophthongs are the ones in blue over here. So the light blue, those are monophthongs. So those are sounds that have one sound. And if you look at these ones are short. They are short monophthongs. So I'm just going to read them for you just so you can see, you can hear them. So we've got pen, map, sun, book, runner, fish, pot. Okay, so those are short, clear, lovely. Then if you look at the next ones, these all have 2 little dots next to them. So you see the 2 little dots, 2 dots, 2 dots, 2 dots. Those are the long sounds. So we want them to sound long. We want them to sound different to these ones. So these should have different lengths. So now listen to these ones. So we've got oar, horse, star, tree, moon, turn. Okay, so obviously in speech, you don't need to stop everything and make this super, super long, but there needs to be a little bit of a difference between the short sounds and the long sounds. Otherwise, it's just not going to sound right. So here are some long vowel sounds. So we've got sheep, born, leave, thought, these, bird, car, shoot. You know, if we do them without the long vowel sounds, it will sound like sheep, born, leave, thought, these, shoot, car, bird. Just doesn't sound as good, you know, it sounds a bit odd. And here are some short ones. Fat, hut, pot, book, cat, pink, this. So hearing that difference between the two really makes a difference. So have a look at this sentence and see if you can hear the difference between the long vowel sounds, which are slanted. So the slanted ones are the long vowel sounds. So have a listen. The fat bird sits by the door, his head far from the floor. There's just a little difference, you know. The fat bird sits by the door, his head far from the floor. Okay, so if you can get that subtle difference between a long vowel sound and a short vowel sound, you will be amazing. Look at that. Well done, everybody. You did it. Those were the main problems I wanted to talk to you about. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, make sure you join. You can use the link in the description for one-to-one lessons, and you can also go to smashingenglish.com for English courses. Does anybody have any questions? I will do some questions now. It can be anything about what we've learned. It could be something that we've already done. It could be something that we haven't done. You let me know. What are your questions? Let's see. So let me go up here. How to move from A2 to B1. Immerse yourself. You've got to just immerse yourself and be consistent every single day. The only way I found to consistently sound better is to pick my words carefully and not to pronounce syllables that give me away. I know it's cheating and doesn't improve actual accent. That is a technique, but I think when we have a comfort zone and we only say things in our comfort zone, we'll never really improve. So if you can, try to go outside your comfort zone, even if it gives you away, because that practice will be so valuable and you'll get better and better the more you do it. Okay, someone says, how will I understand if it's a long sound or if it's short? That's a really, really good question. So the thing I would suggest is if you can get familiar with the sounds. So there are lots of charts like this online. If you type in on Google IPA chart, there are lots of charts. The more familiar you get with sounds, you will start to recognize them. So for example, if you learn horse, star, tree, moon, turn, if you learn that those are the long sounds, when you're reading something, you might be able to spot them and go, okay, so I'm looking at the word door. Door sounds like horse. So that's the same sound, so it's long. Or, okay, looking at the word flea, and that E sounds similar to tree, so that's the same one. So you've got to kind of learn this new alphabet and be familiar with the sounds, and then you can start recognizing them in other texts. But don't rush it. Don't try to, do it all in one day. Take your time and enjoy learning about it. Have fun with the learning. Eliza says, I try to improve my English level from B2 to C1, but it's not very easy. How could I do that? Do you have some tips? Yeah, if you ask 5 different English teachers, they will give you 5 different answers on how to do that. But you've got to find something you can be consistent with. So if you love cooking, then you need to watch all your cooking shows in English, or you need to narrate your cooking as you're doing it. You need to find things that you can do every day that doesn't feel like hard work, that you can be consistent with, because consistency is how we get better. It's not just going to happen in one day. You've got to be consistent. Uma, I don't want to think before speaking. What do I do? I just made a video about this. So if you go on our channel, I just made a video last week saying how to speak English without thinking or something like that. So that's for you, okay? Stan says, who has the best cooking show? If you are interested in this accent, there's a lady called Nigella Lawson. Nigella, Nigella Lawson, Lawson. She has the accent that we've been talking about today. She's good. Any other questions we've got? Let me scroll up a little bit, actually. Okay, how can I be more confident when speaking? I know the vocabulary and grammar, but when I start talking, the words suddenly disappear from my mind. That tells me that you need to talk more. Unfortunately, you got to do it more. The more you do it, it will get better. So make it your mission to speak every day. Somehow you've got to just speak more, and it will slowly get better, I promise. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. I appreciate it so much. You are all fantastic. If you would like to get more out of this channel, that's how to do it. Subscribe, like and join. We're also offering one-to-one lessons. My husband Bez is offering lessons, I'm offering lessons, and you can also go to smashingenglish.com for our English courses. Thank you so much for being here. Have a lovely day, and I will see you next time.